joining us today is Anthony Viljoen, the CEO of Andrada Mining, after the company announced a 51 million partnership to develop their Brandberg West polymetallic project in Namibia. Anthony, great to be speaking to you for the first time. How are things?
Yeah, no, thank you very much for having me. Things are really fantastic at the moment. When commodities are running and all of your own commodities are running, it's a great time to be a mining CEO.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, long may it last. Long may it last. Before we dive into the two recent bits of news, of course, on Brandberg and Lithium Ridge, I wonder if you can perhaps, just because it's the first time we're speaking here on StockBox, just perhaps give us the elevator pitch for the company, the high-level overview. It's all Namibia, isn't it?
Yes. So we're in the best mining jurisdiction in Africa. We have a really unique geological region that we've focused on. Historic mines that we've consolidated into a portfolio, and we've got a producing asset with two development assets, and these are all historic mines. So, and what they're all critical minerals. You've got your tin, lithium, tantalum, tungsten, copper. So it's really quite a fantastic portfolio, and we're very excited by the development prospects of the portfolio.
Excellent. Well, the US mine is your flagship project, isn't it? But of course, you've had lots of news on Lithium Ridge and Brandberg West recently. Just quickly on the flagship project, just tell us where that is at the moment, what stage that's at.
So we're in production. We've started the mine basically from scratch. We've increased production quite dramatically since then. It's a huge resource, 200 million tons. We're mining at 1 million tons a year, so mine life for literally almost centuries.
Right.
We've expanded the production. We're looking to double the production over the course of the year by implementing various engineering projects. And what we've also got the associated minerals of lithium and tantalum that we're looking to monetize as well in the course of the year.
Excellent. Good. Well, tin is a good one to be in as well, of course. And does that project sort of underwrite, if you like, the rest of the business, the rest of the project?
Yes, that was the biggest hard rock open cast tin mine in the world at one stage. We believe we can get it back up to that. The cash flows from that have enabled us to expand the exploration not only at West, but also develop our other projects at Lithium Ridge and Brandberg West, which we have now looking to extract the value now that we have partners associated with those various projects.
Absolutely. So Lithium Ridge is just next door, isn't it? And that's, of course, where the lithium is based. And was it recently you identified pegmatites around that area?
Yeah, so the mineralization all consists of pegmatites. Next door in Namibia terms is about 30 kilometers away. It's a vast country.
Yeah.
But we've had some really great results. We've partnered with SQM, the biggest lithium miners globally. It's basically a 6-kilometer ridge of spodumene mineralization in pegmatites. We do have also very interesting grades of associated tin and tantalum within those pegmatites. But the grades that we announced recently are quite spectacular. And that will lead us into the drilling results in the not too distant future. So it's a great project for the future and great partners to have on board already.
Excellent. So these partners then, SQM, can you tell us a little bit about who they are and what they like about the project? The reason I sort of asked that is I'm looking, it's 4% Li20, I think is what you're getting at the moment. So it's not SC6, which is of course the premium, but have you got scale there? What is it that's attracted your partners?
Yeah, so look, SQM are the biggest lithium miners in the world. They're a Chilean-based unit. They've basically spun off their hard rock lithium production mainly, and are mainly based out of Australia. They've scoured the world for high yielding pegmatites. So that 4% that you're getting is just in grab samples. So that's basically just the initial identification along the ridge. So it's basically a 6-kilometer pegmatite, and what we've done with those results is just tested the mineralization along the ridge, and we're about to get drill results on that. We have done flotation tests that give us over 6% SC spodumene concentrate. So it is yielding a very high grade concentrate already. But the drilling and further metallurgical test work will lead us into a definitive feasibility study on that.
Okay, so you're going down the full study route with these guys. Okay.
Yes.
And it's quite good, I would say, to get a partner like that on board at this stage. So they must be really liking what they're seeing.
Yes, and it's quite interesting. So the mineralization is very similar to Azure Minerals that they invested in Australia. Azure, they also had a very similar sort of earning basis, and after the initial drilling, ended up buying that asset together with Gina Reinhardt for $1.3 billion. So they do have obviously a very deep insight into lithium mineralization. We've walked quite a long journey with them already in terms of identifying which pegmatites would be suitable, and this is, as I said, very similar to the type of pegmatites that you're seeing in production in Australia already.
Okay. And what stage would you say that Lithium Ridge is at the moment? It's not grassroots, certainly not. I would say maybe it's moved on from exploration, it's moving into development. Is that the fair stage to call it?
Well, yeah, we're probably heading towards resource definition and pre-feasibility. That's that target for on Lithium Ridge. We've just added another drill rig there, so we are wanting to expand that resource pretty quickly.
Excellent. So just tell us about what the timeline looks like for Lithium Ridge then, and how you'll work with SQM. Let's just say, should we split the year in half, first half, second half? Where would you like to see things developing?
So look, we hope to have completed all of the drill work and assay work by middle of the year. And then, then we will move from there into resource definition, but hopefully in the next sort of 6 to 12 months after that, and off the back of that, we'll go into definitive feasibility study work.
Okay, excellent, good. Brandberg West then, so copper, tungsten, and tin, so similar commodities again. You've just announced a $51 million partnership with ACAM. So just tell us a little bit, first of all, the high level about Brandberg.
So, the same sort of thematic as all of these other deposits. It was a historic mine. It was owned by Goldfields and operated in the sort of 50s and 60s. It was primarily a tin and tungsten deposit. But what we've subsequently discovered is that there's a lot of copper associated with it in that mineralized system. We've also discovered that the mineralized system extends for 4 kilometers from the historic pit. So, this whole region, the whole Eronga region in Namibia, what started off as a strategic sort of hypothesis that we could, consolidate a portfolio of these historic assets is really starting to come to the fore now. Now, Weiss is in production. Lithium Ridge, we've got a great partnership there, and our third asset now, which is Brandberg West. We wanted to expedite the development of that value, and once again, that whole thematic, we really are opening up a whole region of critical minerals in Namibia.
Oh. Excellent. Well, I mean, $51 million is a decent amount of money, isn't it? So, will you work together with ACAM, or are they going to take the bulk of the work on the ground?
No, so they're primarily financial investors, and I think a large part of why they invested in us is our ability to execute large-scale mining projects. We have a really substantial team of engineers and geologists and metallurgists. So, we have the capabilities of taking projects from early stage right into development. Okay,
and they're backing all the way if results. Depending, I suppose, but they're prepared to back all the way to just under 50% of ownership.
Yes, and it's a real vote of confidence in that deposit. They've taken similar positions. I think that they do like the copper and the tungsten aspects. They're big investors in Guardian Metals, and you've seen what's happened to companies like Guardian Metals since they've got involved. So they do have an eye for talent and for good projects, and hopefully, we can deliver all of that for them.
Good. And the funds then will be used, I think the RNS pointed out, for geological mapping, drilling, tailings assessment, and wider study. So just again, take us through the plan of action for this year on this project.
Yeah, so look, I mean, there's a couple of key pillars that we're looking at. Geologically is testing the extent of that mineralized footprint. From a metallurgical point of view, there were a number of historic dumps already there, so we want to do some test work on those dumps to see if we can bring that copper into early production. Then we want to also do some metallurgical test work just to see how we can get all three revenue streams out of the fresh ore of your tin, your tungsten, and your copper. It's a very similar type of mineralization to what you're seeing in the south of England. So like companies like Strategic Minerals, Tungsten West, etc., Elementos. It's a very similar type of vein-hosted mineralization. So there are precedents in terms of getting this into development, and so I think we will be able to accelerate the development quite quickly on this.
Good. So in summary then, I know you also tidied up your balance sheet a little bit towards the back end of last year. So you've got a project in production and 2 projects in the development stage, but backed basically by good partners. So I mean, it sounds like things are sort of teeing up quite nicely in this macro commodity environment for a fairly significant year for the company.
Look, we've always been very bullish on tin. The supply-demand dynamics really have been quite unique in the mineral market and continue to do that. Just last week, we hit an all-time high on with the tin price. So, by enabling us to sort of clean up the balance sheet with our shareholders who have backed the company since inception, it gives us the opportunity to get our cash flow runway really up to speed, implement our engineering projects, expand the production, and it gives the company a solid platform to then start developing the growth projects. So, just one of these projects on its own would be a company maker, and we've got 3 of them. So, we are incredibly poised for a very unique period of growth for the company.
Excellent. And whereabouts are you now in terms of market capitalization?
So we're sitting at about £85 million at the moment. Yeah. So there's still a lot of headway that we can make on that.
Excellent. Well, thank you very much for your time, Anthony Viljoen, the CEO of Andrada Mining.
Great. Thanks very much for having me.
If you enjoyed this interview, then give us a thumbs up, a like or a retweet. Subscribe to us on YouTube or follow us on Twitter and hit that notification bell to be the first to know when we release new content. There's loads of great content on our website too, across all our programs at stockboxmedia.com. Thank you for watching.